Hey guys, Matt, Trans483. In this video, I'm going to be doing a how-to on making a MTH DCS Lash-Up on the MTH remote. This video is going to be requested for MJC6184, better known as Mike. And he just recently got a DCS system, and one of the questions he asked me was how to make a Lash-Up on the remote. So this video is for you, Mike, so let's take a look. Okay, so here's a look at our Lash-Up today. It is two MTH Premier diesels. In the front we have a New York Central Heritage SD70 ACE with Protosound 3. And then behind it, running long forward, we have a Pennsylvania Heritage ES44, also from MTH with Protosound 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to make this Lash-Up. Now, one thing I do want to say before I get going is that if you have two DCS remotes, this one here is actually mine, but this is our main one that we use, the KTMR. But if you have two remotes and you want to run this Lash-Up, you have to make the Lash-Up in both remotes. I'm going to show you how to make it on this one, but if I wanted to run the Lash-Up on this, I'd have to make it separate. But anyway, let's go take a look at how we make this Lash-Up. Okay, so on our MTH remote, the first thing we need to do is go ahead and bring the engines into the active engine list. Currently, right now, these are not in the active engine list. They're in the inactive engine list. So what we have to do is we have to go ahead and bring them to the active engine list. So what you do is you just scroll down through your engines and you find them. There's one right there, the New York Central SD70. And then below it is the Pennsylvania ES44. Now, one of the shortcuts you can do, instead of scrolling through all these engines, what you can do, if you know the ID number of the engine you're looking for, in this case the NS SD70 is number 30, and then the Pennsylvania ES44 is 31. On the remote, you can just type in 30, and it'll find it right there. So then to bring it into the active list, you just click the thumb wheel. Like that. And then you do the same thing for the other one, 31. Click the thumb wheel. Sometimes it takes a second. There it is. And now they're in the active list. So now we can make the Lash-Up. Okay, so now we're ready to make the Lash-Up. So to start, we're going to hit the menu button, scroll down to the advanced menu, click on the create Lash-Up, and now you can see that we're presented with a MTH Lash-Up or a TMCC Lash-Up. Now, as you guys know, the MTH runs primarily MTH engines, but if you want to, you can hook up a Lionel command base, be it a Legacy, TMCC, or the Cab 1L base, and you can run TMCC engines or Legacy engines in TMCC mode off the DCS. And if you want to make a Lash-Up with TMCCs, you can do that. But since we got MTHs today, we're going to use the MTH Lash-Up feature. Okay, so we're going to select the MTH Lash-Up feature. That's going to say Add Engine, so we're going to select that. And now we're going to find the engine we want, which in this case we're going to start with the New York Central SD70. So we're going to select it. Now it's going to say to select the position. Now what this means is whatever engine is the head of your Lash-Up, you're going to start with that one. So we're going to select the head engine. And it's in forward. So we're going to select forward. Now we're going to add engine again. Now we're going to select Pennsylvania. Now this is going to be the tail engine. Now if you had three engines in your Lash-Up, whatever that middle engine would be, you would call that the middle engine, but we only have two today. So we're going to select tail engine. And now we're going to select reverse. Now the reason why we're selecting reverse is because the Pennsylvania is running long hood forward. And if you select forward, what would happen is they would both run in what would be forward. And the problem with that is that they wouldn't operate correctly, and we don't want that. We want them to run correctly. So we're going to select reverse. And now we're almost done. The only thing we gotta do is assign a Lash-Up name. Now, if you do something wrong with the Lash-Up and you need to redo something, you can select delete engine and manipulate the Lash-Up how you need to, delete engines, whatever you need to do to get it correct, and then you can continue on. Okay, so now let's get done with this. The only thing we gotta do now is assign a Lash-Up name. So we're gonna select that. And now you're presented with the character set that you get from MTH. Now, what I like to do with my Lash-Ups to make them easy to remember, I like to do the engine's road number, just because that's very easy. So we're gonna go ahead and do the engine's road number. We're gonna start with the New York Central, which is 1066. So we're gonna do 1066. And also, I like to put the direction that each engine is in. That way, in case I forget, I have a reference. So we'll do F. Then we'll scroll to the space. Then we're going to do 8102, which is the road number of the Pennsylvania. Then we're going to scroll to R. And I'm going to select the D for done once we're done. Now when I select this, the Pennsylvania will make a relay click sound to tell you that it's in reverse. Okay, so you can see our Lash-Up, and this is the way it would typically be when you first turn it on. So now let's go ahead and run this Lash-Up. Then when you first start up a Lash-Up from the just turning it on first time, the engines will both start up at full volume and the smoke will be off. So when I hit the startup button in just a second to turn it on, the engines will fire up at full volume and their smoke effects will be off. So let's do that. I'm going to turn these down a little bit so you can hear me talk. So I just turned them down and you can hear that the smoke effects are currently off. I just turned them on just by pressing the button here. So now when you hit the horn on the remote, only the New York Central will blow the horn. Same thing with the bell. Now if you want to have any of your other engines do sounds like horn, bell, or even the coupler sounds, what you have to do is you have to reactivate them. So we'll do 31 just to be brief. We'll do the Pennsylvania. Now let's say when I throw the coupler on the engine, I want to hear the sounds of the coupler. Because when you do the coupler in the Lash-Up, the rear coupler is whatever the rear engine is. So let's see if we get this thing going again. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time. Sometimes you have to mess with it a little bit. So what I'll do, I'll turn the sounds back up again, and I'll do this. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to the sounds, and I'm going to turn up the accent volume. And now if you want to do something like blow the horn, have the Pennsylvania do the horn. When you hit the horn, you can do that here, or the bell, same thing. So we're going to deactivate this now and go back to this. Now when I throw the coupler, heard the sounds of the Pennsylvania do the coupler. The final feature that is not implemented when you first turn on the Lash-Up is the ditch lights. Now on a Protosound 3 engine, the ditch lights only come on when the engine is moving, and I'm not going to move it now because you really can't tell on the camera if the ditch lights would be on or not. But anyway, when you hit the horn or when the train moves, by default the ditch lights do not turn on at all. But if you want to get them to turn on, you hit the menu, control, ditch lights, then you can have them set to whatever you want. I personally like to have them set to on, but that's me. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Mike, I hope you found this useful, and If you or anybody else has any requests on the DCS system, just throw them in one of the comments on one of the videos, or you can email me and I'll be very happy to do a video. So now let's run this Lash-Up.